Okay, here we are live finally. As I said last week I was alone. I was feeling a little lonely in my live meeting, but today finally I have one of my favorite people to host, which is Marta Mandolini, our teacher from Barcelona and our teacher trainer from Europass in Barcelona. And Marta, as I told you a little bit about last week, is here to tell us about some of the cool things that they are organizing now in Barcelona. So, hello, Marta. First of all, welcome. How are you?
Hi, Christina. Hello, everyone. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very well. It's a beautiful day. Fantastic. How's the weather in Barcelona?
Sunny.
Sunny as well.
Well, it's sunny. It's also a little bit cloudy, but it's okay. And temperature are pretty up. So yeah, great.
Nice.
And I have just had a wonderful course this morning, art therapy course here for Europass Teacher Academy. So I'm really artistic today. I'm just like, I have paint all over my body.
Nice.
So I'm happy. Yeah.
Great. Yes. Also, hi, Gladys. Welcome. Also, I'm having a course about the Montessori and the Reggio Emilia approach live at the end of March, which is already confirmed. So if some of the teachers that are listening to us are interested in the courses, we already have confirmed courses for March and April live in Florence.
And in Barcelona.
And in Barcelona. And I really can't wait to get back in the classroom and really feel that energy going again. This smart working situation is not doing wonders for our energy levels.
Yeah, and it's not going to be there forever, so we are getting ready already, step by step.
Step by step. On track. But I feel that things are happening. I feel the air moving finally. So let's see how it goes. So, yeah. Marta, the reason why I invited you here today is that, one of the main suggestions that I give to students is when they are studying English is not to focus only on learning English, but to look for something that is interesting for them and that they can do in English. So an activity that is not exactly learning a language, but it's another activity, something that it's fun for them, it's entertaining, it's interesting, that they are motivated to do, and that gives them a chance to practice their English. And what you are organizing now in Barcelona really seems like the perfect fit for this description. So tell us a little more about what is going on there.
Yeah, definitely you are right. When we are learning a language, it's always good to do something which is transversal to the language because it's getting fun and it makes your stress level going, lower. So here in Barcelona, we organized for the moment 4 live experiences, art experiences that are about 4 artists that we really like. And we are going to have these live experiences in English starting from this Saturday at 12. And then for the rest, for the other 4 following Saturdays at 12 as well for March. They are going to be in English, and we are going to play and create art inspired by Matisse for this Saturday, Picasso for the following Saturday, and Monet for the 3rd Saturday, and then Miró for the 4th Saturday of March. This is because we really want to get out of our comfort zone in creating art, but with no pressure at all, and just to have fun, take it easy, create something together with some other people that are connected with their own computer from all around the world. Yes. We will be, of course, with teachers. We already have a few teachers that are going to participate in this experience, but it could be also that are no teachers. So this invitation is both for teachers and maybe their family, their friends, so for everybody, because actually art is for everybody.
Of course.
Yeah. So we are going to start with English because it's like the main language we use at work. But then we will also have experiences in Spanish and in Italian starting from April. They will be kind of a recorded sessions, so kind of self-paced experiences that you can book, and then you can have the possibility to make them with your friends or your family when you are free, or where you just want to do that in your free time.
Okay. And let me ask you just some practical information. So if I want to attend this art experience, what type of material would it be necessary for me to have at home?
Yeah, well, I will give you an answer which is also broader than these art experiences, which is about making art in the classrooms as well, or making art in your life. Because I know that now part of our audience today is teachers. We have this kind of a strict belief that we have to have the right materials to make art. And many teachers, I'm sure they are already very creative, but they don't really practice art in their classroom because they may think that they don't have enough art experience and they don't have the right materials.
Okay.
Well, the good news is you're not going to create an art class, you know. It's an art experience, so it's something different. As well, on Saturday, we're not going to teach art and how to create perfect art. You're going to have fun, to engage with art materials. So for Saturday, for example, you just need some colored papers, scissors, and some glue, for example.
Okay.
For the following experiences, you may need some watercolor or some acrylic paint, but you don't need expensive tool, or you don't need something special, right? So the idea is to have materials that you may easily find in your house or in any art shop, or even at the supermarket. So easy, yeah. And as well in the classroom, sometimes we just can have great art experience just using a pencil and a sheet of paper.
Nice. See, my dog is going up and down the stairs. I'm sorry.
It's beautiful.
So this is nice, actually, because I feel that this is something that holds a lot of people back. The feeling, well, for many things, no, the feeling that if you're not perfectly equipped or perfectly ready, you can't move forward, even though we then know from our daily practice that that is not the case. But
yeah, exactly. It really depends on how you approach art. I mean, if you want to create something that follows the traditional criteria of art, maybe you will also get stressed and frustrated because maybe you haven't been drawing for 10 years, you know. But when we are in the creative arts field, then you don't need to be a good artist, or you don't need to have great experience. Basically, we make art to tackle stress, to get rid of our, self beliefs, or just awful thoughts that we may say to ourselves. For example, I'm not good at doing that, or I won't be able to do that. I cannot learn something new. It's not true. We can learn, and we can practice, and we can have fun. And in case you're teaching a language, which is our conversation also today, this is also very true, because you may have a class, an English class or a Spanish class, using some art materials, and you can also connect more with the person, because when you practice art, you can also get more information about the person, what they like, what they don't like. You can practice, of course, vocabulary and grammar, but mainly you practice empathy. Because when you make art, and then you can ask, for example, what's the connection between the artwork that you have produced and yourself, or how is this artwork make you feeling, for example. So you can really speak about a lot of different topics, and then can expand also the relationship you have with them.
Of course. For now, and then Belinha Ibrahim, thank you for following us, and hello to you too. But I remember, so in high school, I was a very good student, but my my weak spot was art. And
Really?
really, and so I remember my art teacher from high school that made us buy a very expensive set of professional watercolor. And I remember that when we told him, and we you know, a lot of us were protesting against this, and saying that we didn't want to buy this set of watercolor. And I remember him telling us, he told us, already you are not very good. Imagine if you also use bad tools. So he said, at least the tools need to be very good. Then we'll see.
Well, he was a funny teacher, I suppose.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But in his defense, it was a really good set of watercolor, and I still have them. And I used them later on when I wasn't in school anymore. I used them for my passion, for my hobby. I bought a course on painting flowers with watercolors, and I was
Great.
able to use this beautiful set. And I ended up finishing it and buying a new one from the same brand because it was actually really, really good. But I remember how it felt ridiculous at school buying this. It was, you know, the one with the individual chips, like the good watercolors, not the one I always use, like children's watercolor. But the children's watercolor work very well.
Exactly.
And
they are really good now.
Yes, and I think I bought a set to play with my daughter last week. I think I paid like €3 for the complete set of watercolor, and they're very fun to use.
Yeah, and anyway, you know, the more time passes, the more these brand for children become anyway good materials. So if we think about now and the past, they are really improving, and
Yes.
so they are already good enough.
Definitely.
I mean, unless you're not selling them to anybody, or you are not displaying them in an art gallery. I mean, if it's just for yourself, it's
perfectly
okay.
fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would say that in watercolor, for example, it's more important the paper that you're using than the actual color somehow, right?
Yes,
so
definitely.
I would maybe keep an eye more on the paper than on the color.
Yeah, than on the color.
But definitely, I mean, this resistance that you had as a student with your classmates as well towards this activity with this good material is the same resistance that teachers or artists sometimes feel, like they don't feel strong or skilled enough to practice art, and they see this color use kind of a waste of material, waste of money, and this is also another reason why maybe then they leave it aside, right? So, you know, I've studied art and I've studied psychology, so I know when to use some art tools or some other kind of art tools, but I'm really glad that nowadays there is this new kind of concept of art where everybody can really practice art, and it really depends on how you approach it. And that's the philosophy we really want to follow in these art experiences, which is art is for everybody. And please get rid of this kind of concept that art is in the museum and that is just for skilled people, talented people, because this is not true anymore. So
I agree. This is what I love. This is one of the reasons why, even though we are in Florence, it's easier to get in contact with classical art than with modern art. But the reason why I love modern art is that it really gives that sense that art is in the attitude of what you are looking and what you are experiencing and what you are displaying, and that art is in the eyes and in the hearts of those who are living it, and that is not something about a particular skill or something that you are particularly talented at. And then I think that also this definition of talent, as you said, unless you are a professional, you are selling something. I'm a terrible singer, but singing in the car puts me in such a good mood that I wouldn't give it up for the world. Even though I would never sing in front of other people, I'm a terrible singer. But the way I feel when I'm driving and it's a sunny day and my favorite song goes on and you start singing, in that moment, you don't care if you are singing well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Just care about what you are experiencing. And so I feel that we can do the same thing with art.
Yeah, and actually I was thinking that we are talking today about how we practice art, but another topic is how we receive art. So there is a nice approach with kind of a strategy we can also use art with our students while teaching a language, which is this visual thinking strategies, which is basically displaying an artwork to them and then asking them a few questions, such as what you see in the picture, why do you think so? What else can you say about this artwork? You know, and then you as a teacher, you can present as many artworks you want, also depending on your preferences. But then they can really practice the language, or they can learn more about one topic. It can be really about science as well. You don't need to be a language teacher to use visual thinking strategies. It can be that you're a biology teacher, for example, and then you're linking art with biology, for example. And then in this case, the student is not the artist in the sense that he's practicing art, but it's kind of a viewer of the artwork, and then they get this occasion of explaining and also create their own theory. They can be art critic for a while, explaining why an artwork is interesting for them, and so on. So in art, you can expand it as much as you want, basically,
Definitely.
as viewer and also as artist.
This is so interesting. And hello to Gabika and Margarita that are following us from Slovakia and from Bulgaria. Hello, welcome for being with us. Yes, I think it's such an interesting topic. And I think back at my journey of learning another language and getting in contact in these challenging, stimulating, interesting interactions was one of the things that got me most motivated to go on. And it was an interesting opportunity to check my skills and have a feedback on what I was doing and checking if my communication skills were getting better. And so, because nice conversations happen when you put yourself in these type of situations, when you are stimulated in a very different way than usual.
Yeah, exactly. And on a psychological point of view, while we make art or when we are in contact with some art, we immediately have this kind of relaxing response. Somehow our brain gets kind of a break from usual thoughts and negative self-thoughts as well. And you become a kind of more in contact with yourself. So also your self-esteem, and self-confidence may grow. And I think that when you make art in a group, or when you are receiving art in a group, also feelings of empathy, tolerance, feelings of love, they just increase, because you have the possibility to share a pleasant moment with somebody, and then you get to know each other more and more. It's an informal way to connect and to learn. So, and also dopamine, the neurotransmitter, it's circulating more, so we feel happy. So we also feel happy, which is very important, especially nowadays.
And I'm thinking one of the things I complain most about these days is that life feels pretty flat at the moment, in the sense that there's not many chances for distractions, for meeting friends, for going to the cinema, for going out for dinner. So we are living definitely, at least for me, in a much more calmer routine. And the days kind of feel all the same. It's kind of a little bland, because you wake up, you work, you finish work, you eat, you sleep. More or less, the range of experience is a little, let's say, definitely more limited than in the past. And so I think right now, this would be a very good occasion to put yourself in a new stimulating situation, and use, the computers not only for smart working, but also to find a new way to connect with other people, socially distant.
Definitely. And of course, it depends on the person and on the situation. Some people, they are really busy, even though in pandemic, somebody has to work from home, somebody are not allowed to work from home. And then they have a lot of fatigue in this sense, maybe wearing the masks all the time and so on. But creativity and art, it's something that can really save us, our mental health, I would say. I saw a few projects as well then during quarantine, actually led by teachers or therapists, they were encouraging students into getting deeper in the emotional state through art. And then they have created kind of a blogs or Instagram, of course, collages because really it's something that helps you into healing also negative emotions. So when it's about a problem that you have or an issue, then it can be really helpful to just process this emotion, because emotions are normal, but we have to process them somehow. Otherwise, they will be stuck somewhere inside, or we may have an issue in the next future if you're not aware of this kind of block. With our experiences, what we want to do is basically to have fun, to connect with many people, and in case of recording experiences, well, they will be anyway a great way for you to engage with art at your own pace, at your own time, and they will be, like a private occasion to make art without judging yourself at all.
Nice, very nice. This feels like something I want to do.
We are waiting for you. Yeah.
But this Saturday is Matisse, right?
The first one is Matisse, which is actually one of my favorite artists ever.
Really?
Because art therapy is a clinical discipline, and that's it. But we also have a kind of a therapeutic effect of art. And he was stuck on a wheelchair and confined to bed for a long time in his life. Actually, he died pretty old, and he always made this kind of a use of art. It was a therapy for him. So it's really nice to see how sometimes artists, they can really be so actual, because now we have been constrained in our houses for times. So somehow there is a parallelism, right? So yes, the first one is Matisse, and we're going to create some collages out of him. We're going to listen a lot of jazz music as well, and we're going to have fun. Every exercise is an input that we will give you, and so there is no wrong or right. There is nothing to copy, So it's really a freedom concert.
Right. So for the people that are watching us, I also have Javier and Maria Elena. Hello, and thank you for following us. I've put here the link for these experiences so that you can have further information and also get in contact with the school in Barcelona, and be sure to get all the extra info that you need or that you want. Marta, as usual, an incredible pleasure. It's been great talking to you.
The same for me as always.
Thank you so much for being with us. This is the second time you've been our guests, but I'm guessing it's not going to be the last. We're going to do this again and again. And next week, I will actually have guest here in my live, Alessandro. He's another trainer from the Barcelona Academy. And we will talk about the role of podcasts in English learning. So we'll see. I'm a huge fan of podcasts. I listen to a lot of them. I think they are super interesting, and I'm happy to see that they've gained a lot of popularity lately. And so I'm really excited to talk to Alessandro about this.
Yeah, so 2 weeks in a row in Barcelona for you, right?
2 weeks in a row in Barcelona for me. Great. If we can't travel, we have to find another way. Thank you, Marta. It's been great.
Thank you, Cristina. Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye, everyone. Enjoy your day.
Bye.